Alright, it is a lovely morning. Definitely spring here. I think that oak tree is starting to break dormancy. I don't know. I've been looking really close at it. And I just don't know. I've been seeing little things. Maybe the buds are swelling. I mean, it was the first one to get fall colors. So, but that's why I think it is the first one to break dormancy. But I'm not sure. I do remember this oak tree here. That one was the most green, I think. Which usually means that it breaks dormancy earlier, but that was like one of the last ones to get fall colors, I think. And then this one was the first one. I don't know. But today, I want to repot my cherry laurel, Prunus Lauroceratus. I don't know. Something like that. And here it is. I planted this as a cutting. I don't know where I got this. I literally don't. Where did I get this? I planted it in here. I don't know where I got it from, but it survived. I guess they grow very easily from cuttings, but that is a very nice root system. Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. Today, I'm going to be repotting my Prunus Lauroceratus, I think. It's a cherry laurel. It is related to cherries and plums and stone fruit. And it might actually be one. Yeah, it is a stone fruit because it is Prunus. Now, I could have put it with the rest of my plums and my stone fruit. Actually, I don't know why this pear is not a stone fruit. Well, it's gonna be stuck in there until next spring. I put the other one in there. And at the base of this large willow cutting is the other one. Can I focus? Yes, I can. There's another one right here. And I don't need these willow. I don't need all of these willow cuttings. There's just way too many. I have too many willows. I don't need any more. And these larches, I'm just experimenting. Can they grow from cuttings? I don't know. But it's time to get my tool. There's another one over here. That could be another one. So apparently these sprout very radial root systems when grown from cuttings. There's going to be a lot of willow roots in this soil because of how much I've let this willow cutting grow. I could probably relocate this large cutting. Oh wait, no, I thought it was rooting. I'll just stick it next to this one. There. Now, I will continue. I don't want to just pull it out yet. Well, yeah, it's just very firm in there. There's a massive grub in here. Oh God. There's something very large and hard in here. It is a piece of cement. Why did I put that in there? Oh God, I trying to save most of the roots. Yeah, it's very firm. It's very attached to the bottom. I've got it. That's looking quite nice. Alright. It's very full. So, while this was resting down here, it kind of damaged some of the roots. But not do much else to them. I'll just prune out the tips off of like every single one of them so that they branch out. And plus, I need more room than what this root system is giving me. That's looking a bit better. Now there's lots of nodes here that I can prune it back to, and they all have buds. There's buds all the way back here. And that seems to be a good balance. This section never had leaves. Or did it? No, it did. Interesting. Yeah, there's leaf scars all along here. Yeah, that's interesting. So, I'll prune it. I could prune it. That would be daring, but there's a bud right there. I don't want it that low of a canopy. So, I will prune to here. Oh, and it landed upright. That would definitely grow as a cutting, but I don't want any more. So there it is. It stands upright. Now for this one, I can definitely cut this part off. Alright, there's a root that's covered in dirt. They're coming out in 3 directions, quite equally. This root is too high, and most of the roots are coming out in one plane. Roots going upward. This one's going up. These are going up as well. I do not want upward roots. I want ones that flow into the soil. Because that will create a very good root base. But that's looking very good. Prune the top of it. And there's another one I can plant as well. There's a leaf scar or node here. That's just a node. There's no leaf scars until maybe here. I'll prune to this node because it kind of goes upward and it changes the direction of the tree. Because you can see it cranks to the side and this node goes like that. Now, there's one here, but I have to get all these out. These are the trees that were growing in that container There's a Prunus ilicifolia, a holly leaf cherry. It's native to California, but it grows further south. Should I repot this? I don't know. I could. It'd be a nice native to have in my bonsai collection. I do want more native or non-invasive plants than invasive ones. I mean, it's just a nice thing to keep in mind. What grows native or not. I can't do much with this root system because it's very strange. There's not much roots. Most of the roots are at the very, very tip of this. And if I prune this whole thing off, this might not survive. But there's a bud here. There's some nodes down here. Then there's a bud here. Ah. There's kind of these other buds here. That would be nice, so I'll prune the tip off. So I'll figure out where to put that, but right now I'm working on the cherry laurels. Now there's this one. This is growing next to the pot. All of these plants, aside from these two, were growing in this container here. Until I decided to slip pot that and replace it with the pear, so that I could show the pear during the holiday meeting. So this one might not have as much as a good root system as the other ones. Big cut coming up. I've decided to, because there's just I want to keep the root system more shallow and the trunk less tall, because these don't grow a big straight trunk. So now I'll just prune all the roots a bit shorter so that it's more easy to fit, and plus so that they don't just keep growing outward and get all crazy. Those are my scissors. This root is really crazy. That needs to go. There's some nice roots below that one. It's an upward root here. Alright, now they're starting to flow into the soil more. And I'll just prune the upward tips of every single root. That is going upward. Alright, that is looking very nice. I don't want to forget the top of the tree. Now, there is a node here. There's a bunch of nodes here, but I don't see a bud. These ones have buds. I'll just prune it one node back. So that will be the tallest one, and it'll be the only one that has a leaf. There's a, what are they called? Something. Carnations. Yes. This is a carnation, and I think it's not gonna make it. And why I say that is because it's rotting. I don't know how, but that is what it is doing. It doesn't look very good here. I don't know how that happened. No wonder it's not growing very nicely, so I'll have to get another cutting from the carnation. I'm gonna use this soil to pot up the, this Prunus ilicifolia. And I'm gonna use this soil over here. Oh, you can't see it, but that will be for the Prunus laurocerasus. Now, got the 3 right here. So yeah. There's an agave root. Then I got the soil. It was next to an agave, and there was an agave sprout coming out of the ground from the parent. They grow runners and clones and pups. That's what most people call them. I don't know why, but they call them pups. I can make this a bit more deeper before I start planting. And there's something. Okay, there's a piece of shit in here. Luckily I didn't touch it. Yeah, I did not touch it. Okay, that's good. I'm not gonna plant them. So here's that one with a very nice root system. I'll put that. Well, I'll put them equally. Oh, this one needs to be pruned a bit more. This root is sticking out of the profile. It's sticking a bit upward, but I'll see how the roots develop. This one is also sticking a bit upward. And that's good. This one, I could prune the tip off of it. Alright. So that one goes there. Could I pot them a bit higher than that? I think. Maybe. Yeah, I'll add a little bit more soil. There's pieces of agave flesh in here. I was just getting the soil out with a shovel. Okay, that's looking good. That's quite shallow. Hopefully I keep up with the watering so that they don't dry out. But there will be So now I'm gonna fill that in. Did I just hear my tool break? What was that? I don't know. They're fused here. It would be nice to have these two pieces actually fused together by smelting or just heating up so that it actually fuses. But they're already printed their logo. I don't know. Well, well, hopefully this tool doesn't break. Right, that soil will go over there. Now, I can work it in to the roots. Okay, these roots are very delicate, so I'll just wet them and just let the water soak in between the roots there, that way. Now I'll add a little bit more soil. There's a grub. Same kind as before. I don't know what the grubs are what they do. Is it crane fly? I don't know. They don't look like crane fly larvae. So, I don't know. But they don't look like they would help plants. They look unfriendly. I've got it potted up. And now I will put moss over it. Alright, so I've gotten all the excess dirt off of them. And I'm gonna flip all of them over so that they're turning upright. It'd be nice. Maybe if I can use a tray of some kind. I mean like a screen or something. That'll be useful, but there's pieces of moss in here that are very small. So I think it'll be fine if I just turn them all upright. I have finished mossing it up. So this will all fill in soon. Hopefully we get more rain, but this is now one heavy cube of dirt in cement. I will now pot this up. I need to find somewhere to put it. And here, resting upon my Coelrautaria forest, yeah, that's where you are resting on. And I will put this here. Now there's a bunch of seeds. I don't know if they'll germinate, but I can. There's a bunch of acorns. I'll plant this in here. If the acorns sprout, then that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. But I'll also protect this with a bit of ground lichen, so that it doesn't dry out. And then after this, I will also show you the tundra. So now it's time to see the tundra. So here it's right there. I have this side lower in the water so that the willow is nice and happy, and this side a bit more dry. So it's a bit higher above the water table, but there's not much of a difference other than that side's almost submerged. But it is, things are starting to fluff back up. I put lichen on here, like yesterday, and yeah. So this, I'm just gonna let it sit there, and we'll see what it happens, and how it progresses, and I'll keep the willow shoots on the rock, along the rock, so that they don't just grow back upward, because the willow wants to grow upward. It also wants to grow big leaves, and I want to keep it from getting big leaves by keeping it in a very small space. And here is my buckeye. It has leafed out, and yeah, so these bracts, they remind me of the flowers on baobabs, but these are just kind of leaves that didn't. These are technically leaves, but they're just the scales on the buds. I planted these sunflower. These are. What is this? What is the genus of sunflower called? It starts with an H, and a lot of the types of that genus are very large. And it ends with an eum. No, it doesn't end in the eum. It's helianthus. It's helianthus, and I don't know. Well, this was chrysanthemum, I think. But I'm doing an experiment to see if I can root cuttings off of a flower stalk, a flower spike of sunflower. I don't know. I added root hormones just in case it won't work. Yeah, so hopefully the root hormones will make it grow. The buds on my poison oak are beginning to swell, but this is the one I will not repot because it barely grew a centimeter last year. The plum cuttings that get red fall colors are leafing out now, but I will not repot anything in here because nothing in here really needs to be repotted. I don't know what this is. It has a shoot on it. One shoot. And I'm trying to make it back bud, but it's almost like there's no nodes back here. It's a perennial. So, may or may not shoot a sprout out of the base. But there's a bud in the middle of this. And that means that this could survive. I haven't repotted this at all. I collected it in 2023. And yeah, so I hope it survives, and once it grows, you know, a lot more than this, then I can repot it. Here's the plum forest. You can see some of the variety. There's a purple one right there, and there's green varieties. There's purple one there, purple. What else is purple? I think this one's purple as well. I just happened to put them all together. I think this one's also purple. The rest are green. So there's 4 purple ones. There's that one, this one, that one, and that one. And then this, that, and are all green. And then the alder is leafing out. The eucalyptus is leafing out. And it smells very good. The buds on the blackberry are kind of starting to swell along it. That will be something. And then maybe in March, after I go skiing next weekend, and I will be able to show you more aspen trees, I will return and be able to repot the Chinese pistache forest. The buds are beginning to swell on some of them, like right here, there, but yeah, maybe here. But I'll pick the buds off, and yeah. So my weeping willow is starting to show signs of life. There's a bud right there, in here, and they're swelling. And they're sprouting in good places. Hopefully both buds grow equally. And I don't have any branches sucking all the energy out of the other. And then in one of the garden beds, this is the last day that I can pretty much show you what's in the garden beds, because we're gonna do a whole makeover of the garden beds, and we're gonna do some planting of seeds. But here, before we remove all of this, there is this broccoli member. I don't know if this is related to mustard. Those flowers smell very good. They're very sweet. But they have very nice flowers. Very, very nice. Now there is a tomato plant that was in here. I don't know if it survived or not. We might have pulled it out. Ooh, wow. There's kale. Very dark colored kale. This one is just infested with Herb Robert. So in the other video of the creek, I was mentioning how Herb Robert can get out of control really easily. I'll try to pull one out that has gotten out of control. And there's one here. Okay, so that is what they are like. They have a big taproot. Well, this one has multiple taproots, but there's all the foliage, and then they sprout runners that also root themselves. So that landed upright. This one's actually growing upward. I mean, yeah, so I would much rather have this spreading all over our yard than the English ivy, because this actually gets fall colors during May in our area, because that's when it starts to dry out and the grass starts to die and things start to go dormant. The things that don't have a big root will turn brown or straw colored, and they will die back for the dry season. which is a characteristic of desert climates, even though we don't live in a desert. We live in a Mediterranean climate. But we have plants that have adapted to a desert-like summer. They're very dry. We do have a section in our yard that is getting some geranium Robertanium in it, and it looks so much better than the English ivy. I was so tired of constantly seeing English ivy, because English ivy literally does not change at all. It's just green. I don't know why anyone thought it would be an attractive plant, but somehow they did think it was. And they brought it here and planted it all over the place, and now it is a nightmare. And the carrot family is Apiaceae. Yeah, so this smells like carrots. I want to dig this up before we go through this bed and pull everything out, because I want to see what this carrot, if it does it have a taproot? Oh, I can look. Does it have a tuber? I don't see a tuber, but it's probably further down. But I'm just clearing everything away from it so that I can know where it is and I don't forget about it. There's also some vetch, some beans growing in here. I don't know if it's invasive or native. It's vetch. And it's nice. I like it. It might be invasive, but it's certainly better than English ivy. And the English ivy, by far, is the worst invasive plant I've ever seen. I haven't really gotten to know the star thistle, the spiky one with yellow flowers, but that's in the Asteraceae family, or sunflowers. And it just has spikes. But, yeah. Eucalyptus and English ivy are really, really bad for our climate and environment. Well, not climate, gosh. They're bad for the environment. Here. Where they are, they're fine in the southern hemisphere. But I really like this carrot family. I think this might truly be a carrot, if I'm not mistaken. But we're all, oh, wow. See, this is why I like geraniums. They get nice fall colors. That is absolutely beautiful. So now I will show you what lies over there. The whole entire surface here is just geraniums. They're growing all over the place. Geranium Robertanium. Little baby seedlings. So this is the area, and there's an area over there that just it is just awash in a red, bright red fuchsia colored massive foliage in May. And we have another geranium here. It might, I don't know if it's invasive or I've never ever seen it anywhere else but my yard. But it's nice. You can see it has gotten some winter colors. They're very subtle, but purple edges. And the anthocyanin pigments is what causes that. And then these, there's a different kind of pigment that makes them turn yellow, but they also have anthocyanin pigments that make it red and pink and fuchsia, just like that. Another update is this. And there's some sprouts in there. Aeonium, really, it does. Aeonium doesn't smell good. The leaves smell really bad. And then you have to wash your hands after that, because it makes your hands smell so bad when you touch this. But there's a flower getting ready to open. It's not in full bloom yet, but Well, actually, there's some open flowers in there. Oh, ew! It just smells so bad, and just the slightest touch, and you smell your fingers. It's just horrible. But I wonder if those sprouts are gonna sprout. There's a lovely flower. A bunch of flowers. Oh, that's plum tree. They're like glowing. That's lovely. The evergreen viburnum is getting ready to bloom. And this one I've been defoliating because this is a topiary, I guess. And oh, interesting. Let's see how they change. So that I think I don't know if this is anthocyanin pigments or not. But when they don't get any sun, there are none. They don't get suntanned. But this started coming out in January, mid-January, as well as the currant. I wonder if the currant smells like anything. Yeah. Oh, they don't, and the flowers don't smell any different than the leaves. But the leaves, they smell really good, and I think they're edible. I've eaten currant leaves before, and I didn't have any problem with it. I'll make sure there's no insects on here. And there's none. So it's not in the mint family. All members of the mint family have opposite leaf arrangement. And this has a spiral form where you go 8 nodes before you find a leaf that is directly above in the same orientation as the leaf 8 nodes down. And we could find an example of that maybe here. You can see there's a bud here, and then you go, I think it's like 170 something. There's a bud down here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, I don't know. But this is all new growth, so I don't know if that matters or counts. But well, here, no, I don't know. So remember when I was trying to pollinate the flowers? And I did it all over like this little area. Oh my gosh, there's shit right here. The dog keeps shitting here. So I was pollinating a bunch of flowers. And now, they've all turned out. Oh, I just rubbed it off. But there, hopefully this one doesn't fall off. It doesn't seem to be loosely attached, but there is a fruit forming on the camellia. And I can collect that seed and start a camellia bonsai. So I'll do more pollination. I don't want to self-pollinate the flower. Where's the stigma? The stigma? Well, I don't know. This should definitely be censored. This is not this is not kid friendly. What I'm doing, I am harvesting plant semen, and I am spreading it around. I gotta keep my eye out for shit so that I don't step on it. Where's the other? Oh, there's some flowers over there. And I will get. And here. Now my hand is covered in plant semen. out more seeds. This is really fun. With more flowers or the buds, the flower buds right before they open look kind of silly. That is interesting. It's odd. What do I make out of this? Like mentally. It is so funny. And the honeysuckle is growing. It's grown a few inches. Pretty much every node is like an inch or a half of an inch. Well, an inch and a half is what it means. But this, I'll keep an eye on this and keep it from taking over the camellia tree. I just want it to grow all up this thing here so that it doesn't look ugly. I should probably kind of guide it with something so that it stays, so that it's growing along the wire, whatever this is. It's a cable. So it turns out this is a Senecio. There is a Senecio. A lot of Senecio, like Senecio majorlisca, which is a succulent. But this one is a little sunflower and has lovely leaves. And a nice pink stem. And all the other ones coming at the base of this, I think this member of the Brassicaceae family. Mustard and broccoli, if I'm not mistaken. You know, mustard and broccoli kind of look similar when they're flowering. So that's why I think they're in the same family. But this looks mostly dead. Unless... Oh, it's still alive. You can see... Yeah, it's still alive. How about this one? Yeah, that's also still alive. This one's dead. Oh, well, that's that. I'll just keep that together. This is Senecio majorlisca. They're very hard to root from cuttings. Oh, and there's ants. I'm glad I didn't keep my hand there. But, yeah, Senecio majorlisca is a succulent. It's very interesting leaves. And then there's Fred Ives. I don't know how they got that name. Probably after someone named Fred Ives. But here is the other area of Herb Roberts that I need to get the English ivy out of so that the Herb Roberts can take it over and replace it. And you can see that the privet is starting to grow with those fresh tips. So that probably means I can repot my larger privet bonsai and plant the smaller one and the large one together. And then we have forget-me-nots. That is lovely. Lovely little forget-me-nots. And then these. That is interesting. I like these flowers. So I guess the insects, oh, these petals are so soft. I love them. But there you can see the sexy parts of the flowers. I want to collect some seed from this. This would be a really nice accent plant. There's another one growing right there. Yeah, these very soft petals. And there's more forget-me-nots coming up right here. And there's a member of the sunflower family, Asteraceae. Very, very fluffy buds. Very tomentose, or is that mold? Yeah, I don't know. I like this plant. It's probably invasive. Oh, wow. They're fleshy. Very, wow, it's like, oh! Oh, so they have latex. Come out. That is interesting. There's latex coming out. And if I sever it again, which I know, it's a bit difficult. But you can see it is like a daisy. Very lovely. I will pollinate it. It's kind of like half a flower and then put it over here. More plant semen. But yeah, I love these members of the Asteraceae family. No matter what they are, unless it's the yellow star thistle, that needs to go. It is spiky. That is just lovely. Look at the stigma in there. I'm sorry, YouTube, I have to do it. It's funny. That is nice. So, I don't know what this flower morphology is. There's one single petal that goes around here. And I don't know if these are sepals or not. Maybe this is a sepal. This is where the bud came out of. But this is very nice. Daffodils are so lovely. And I don't know if they're native or not, but they're just so lovely. There's different kinds. There was a white one growing over there by the little thing sticking out of the ground right there. And then there's these. There's the white kind. The smaller flowers, blooms earlier. And now it's time for the big yellow ones. And now these periwinkles have an edible, well, I didn't pick that one off correctly. They're edible. The nectar. It tastes like honey. It's like honey. That is all for today. Thanks for joining me here among the watch poplars.